Hello everyone, welcome to Shifting Gears, and with me today I have the Tata Punch Micro SUV. You can call this a sub 4 meter compact SUV. As an automobile journalist in this industry, I have spent more than a decade. काफी बार ऐसा होता है that you look at a car, you get to know a car and you know that it is going to be a winner. This Tata Punch, in my opinion, is definitely going to be a winner for Tata Motors. It has all the right ingredients for appealing to the mass market. इस वीडियो में हम बात करने वाले हैं इस गाड़ी के एक्सटीरियर डिजाइन के बारे में, all the design highlights on the outside. इस गाड़ी के इंटीरियर फीचर्स के लिए हमने एक अलग वीडियो अपलोड किया है. Do check it out. You will get to know everything about this Tata Punch on the inside. And also, we have a separate drive video for the AMT variant, a separate drive video for the manual variant, and we have also taken this car for some slight mild off-roading so that we can explain to you if this micro SUV can take that beaten path and take you closer to nature. So let's focus on what are the highlights on the outside of this Tata Punch micro SUV, because the overall silhouette is still trying to look like a mini Tata Harrier or a mini Tata Safari, but it is rather good looking. And in this segment where you have conventional premium hatchbacks, this car definitely stands out. This car will definitely appeal to the SUV loving audience. आज मेरे साथ इस Tata Punch का creative variant है. This is the top of the line variant of this micro SUV. You can notice that it does look like a mini Harrier, a mini Safari, thanks to the design cues. You have this LED DRL over here mingling very well with the bonnet shut line, and then the humanity line is given to you in chrome. So this chrome strip runs across the width of the front end design, and it highlights that this is a nice and wide car. Because of this, इस गाड़ी को एक काफी अच्छा appearance मिल जाता है, and also thanks to chrome, it looks that much premium as well. You can notice that you have a blacked out grille section over here. This is a flat piece. आपको यहाँ पे of course Tata का logo नजर आएगा, and you have this tri-arrow design over here. लेकिन यहाँ पे ये जो आपको चीज दिख रही है, this is your horn, this is not your ram air intake. नीचे आप देख लीजिए, you have a very healthy dose of body cladding. Again, lower down, you can notice that tri-arrow design. You also have this air dam section over here to cool the engine components. And overall, the black plastic cladding is very dominant on the front end fascia, because of which this definitely looks like a proper SUV. This tries to give you that appearance that this is rough road friendly. After that, you will notice इस पंच के साथ आपको एक projector headlamp setup मिल जाता है. You have a blackout effect over here, and you also have this air curtain which is going to help in the overall aero efficiency for this car. Lower down bumper पे आप देख लीजिए, आपको एक fog lamp भी दिया गया है, but none of this is LEDs. You only get LED DRLs. Everything else is a yellow bulb setup, a halogen bulb setup. लेकिन headlamp का जो throw है वो काफी अच्छा है. We started our day very early today at 5:30 in the morning, and we had no problems in terms of road illumination. So I don't think people are going to complain about the headlamp setup and what the company is offering to you in its stock avatar. Look at it. Very nice looking, very bold looking, and this Tata Punch does have that typical SUV design trait. तो आपको एक flattish bonnet मिल जाती है. It is high mounted, and you have these cuts and crease lines on the bonnet as well, which add to that dynamic appearance of this car. The bumper is nicely sculpted, and you can check it out how high the bumper is. मेरी height है 5 feet 8 inches. The bonnet shut line is over my waist, and even the bumper is actually close to my waistline. So it is a high sitting car. It is not a low squatting hatchback. So some people might really like this. Now look at the side profile. Again, for reference, my height is 5 feet 8 inches, and you can notice the car is nice and tall. इसके वजह से ingress और egress जो है वो काफी आसान होने वाला है to get in and out of this car. So for that, check out the interior video which we have uploaded separately. Talking about the details, the rear view mirror is blacked out because we have the dual tone option today with us. Rear view mirror पे आपको LED turn indicators भी मिलने वाले हैं. Then look at the alloy wheels. आपको diamond cut alloy wheels मिलने वाले हैं in dual tone. These are 16-inch rims, and you are getting a nice and wide 195/60 R16 rubber. So this is also going to be sufficient for your ownership cycle. आपको ये टायर अपग्रेड करने की जरूरत नहीं है. then you will notice that the car has a healthy dose of body cladding at the lower end. So you have these squared off wheel arches, and then on the door trim you have this very thick plastic cladding. Also नीचे wheelbase section पे ये जो running board area है, यहाँ पे भी आपको plastic cladding मिल जाती है. So if you are going to drive this car over really bad roads, आपकी गाड़ी का पेंट जो है वो डैमेज नहीं होने वाला है, and that is definitely going to keep you happy in your ownership cycle because you don't have to keep retouching the paint work because this plastic cladding is going to do all that protection job. Then on the door handle आपको यहाँ पे एक रिक्वेस्ट सेंसर मिल जाता है क्योंकि इस गाड़ी के साथ आपको ट्रू कीलेस एंट्री मिल रही है. You still have this keyhole which is exposed. I don't think this is something anyone should complain about. Now since we have this dual tone paint option today, look at the top section. A pillar पे आपको blackout tape मिल जाती है. B pillar पे आपको plastic cladding मिल रही है. So this is not going to tear off. This is going to be very durable. आपको gloss black finish में roof rail मिल रही है इस Tata Punch SUV के साथ. And then just look at how this section over here mingles with the DLO section with the window sill area. Rear door handle जो है वो यहाँ पे position किया गया है and it is very easy to operate and it is very easy to grab this section as well. तो इससे किसी को दिक्कत नहीं होने वाली है. It is quite easy to understand as well. And because of this, you get this nice two-door look as well for this Tata Punch. Some people might like it, some people might think that this is overstyled, but let me tell you, compared to the Tata Nexon, which in my opinion is a little overstyled, it is trying a little too hard, this Tata Punch feels much more balanced in the design and I think it is a rather good looking car. But looks are subjective, so you let me know in the comments below if you think that this Tata Punch is going to suit your garage goals. Now let's move to the rear end design of this Tata Punch. But before we look at the entire rear section, come up close and check it out. Tail lamp cluster पे आपको ये Tata की branding नजर आएगी. Tata is also trying their best to offer such finer details, and this really highlights how much effort the brand is putting in to make sure that their cars look nice and premium. Then just look at this entire tail lamp unit. Looks quite nice and you have this tri-arrow design, very stylish, very cool and still not overly large. इसके वजह से ये गाड़ी आपको काफी अच्छी दिखाई देगी when you are following it and when you are looking at it from behind. Lower down on the bumper, you have a very healthy dose of plastic cladding again. यहाँ पे आपको reflectors दिए गए हैं. These are not functional. Again, you have this tri-arrow design over here. And just look at it, how much plastic cladding has been just put together on this bumper section. Everything is hard plastic. On this creative variant, यहाँ पे आपको एक additional rear fog lamp नहीं मिल रहा है, but you do have that cutout, so I think Tata will sell that to you as an optional accessory. You have reverse parking sensors, very neatly integrated. You have the Tata logo on the tailgate, जिसके नीचे आपको ये reverse camera दिया गया है. The housing for the camera is in body color. You have the Punch branding on the tailgate, and then look over here. You have this rear wash and wipe. You have this rhino over here. I don't know why, but Tata really likes to do all of this stuff. And then on the roof, you will notice you have this spoiler kind of an effect, but it is not really a large spoiler, but it does integrate the higher mount stop lamp. And because this car is made in India and because Tata Motors really likes to shout out that their cars are 100% genuinely made here and for the Indian audience, you can notice you have this vocal for local sticker on the rear windscreen as well. Looking at the rear bumper, you will notice that lower down, you again have this aero section. This is going to help in the aero efficiency, and you will need a mud flap over here because just check it out. काफी सारा कीचड़ जो है it is going to kick up on your car, and especially here in India where you have 4 months of heavy rains, the rear end will get very dirty if you don't have those mud flaps. On the left hand side, you have this fuel filler cap. Tata Motors have tried their bit to make it look good enough with the overall design of the car. I think it does a decent job in terms of just mingling well with the cuts and crease lines. Just check it out. It tries to match this line over here, the fuel filler cap, and then it also has these cuts and crease lines which flow onto the side profile. Side profile पे आप देख लीजिए, you have this crease which starts with the tail lamp and it runs on the front door. It doesn't continue on the front fender. and all of this really adds to the dynamic appearance of this Tata Punch. You have these flared off wheel arches, जिसके वजह से इस गाड़ी को एक typical SUV appearance भी मिल जाता है. Up top on the roof, you will notice that you get a conventional antenna. आपको कोई shark fin antenna इस गाड़ी के साथ नहीं मिल रहा है. And also just check it out, आपको इस गाड़ी के साथ sunroof नहीं मिलने वाला है. Sunroof is not part of an optional accessory as well, at least at the moment. But I think if customers demand, Tata Motors can think of adding that as an accessory on some limited edition variant in the future. Some finer details which you should notice on this Tata Punch is that rear wheels पे आपको drum brake setup मिल रहा है. This car doesn't get all 4 disc brakes. After that, look at the door section. When you open the doors, ये जो plastic cladding है, it is very generous, so it is covering up the entire painted door over here. तो पेंट जो है आपका डैमेज नहीं होने वाला है, like I mentioned before. And look over here, यहाँ पे भी आपको काफी हेल्दी बॉडी क्लैडिंग मिल रही है. So you know when getting in and out, काफी लोगों का पैर जो है वो बॉडी के सबसे एक्सट्रीम एंड को टच होता है, and here there won't be any scratches. So I think this also is going to make sure that your car looks new for a long time. Talking about panel gaps, this is the key of the Tata Punch. Now check this out. यहाँ पे आपको कितना panel gap मिल रहा है, and then when you go down, here it is a little tight. After that, when you look at the panel gap over here, you can insert this key, but here on this section you cannot, but then it widens up over here as well. Lower down, यहाँ पे आप देख लीजिए, ये जो panel gap की consistency है, it could have been slightly better. It doesn't match overall with the metal part and with this plastic piece. But this might be nitpicking for some people. I am really impressed with this Tata Punch. I really like this car. From the moment that I saw it, I was like, wow, I can actually consider bringing this car home, because you know that Tata cars are durable. You know that Tata cars can take a beating. But right now, at the moment, what Tata Motors is offering to you with this Tata Punch, I think it is fantastic. The package is just super good and it is super impressive compared to other hatchbacks which you have here in the Indian market, because this is different. This has a nice SUV flavor, although it is going to be very affordable. Currently, the compact SUVs here in the Indian market have become very expensive. The top of the line variants are touching 13 lakhs, 14 lakhs on the road. And this Tata Punch, I think, will be a little over 10 lakh rupees on road for the top of the line variant, and I think this car will justify that price tag. So do check out all the videos that we have about this Tata Punch out on our channel. Subscribe to the Shifting Gears channel if you haven't till now. Press the bell icon, like this video if you like what we share with you, the effort that we put in to bring the most honest content out for you. Let us know what is your opinion about the Punch. Goodbye, always drive safe, and always guys, wear your seat belts.